Hello, angel babies. It is BB, and I am here missing a nail. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. I'm here to do a VR response to Tarot to the Extreme Round 2. Marlena did a second edition, second issue, second prompt, let's say, and I'm excited. So let's go. Let's see if I remember these prompts because I don't have them written down. The first one is vintage versus modern. So for my vintage deck, I chose the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg. I just got this deck yesterday. I went to Highland Park with a friend of mine, and there is a House of Intuition there, and this has been on my list. There are several decks at House of Intuition that I have on my list, but this one felt the most appropriate. I don't know, it feels kind of wintry, so excuse it for being in order, but it's just gorgeous as I'm making it out of order or backwards. And very vintage. It feels very, it feels very Christmassy to me right now. These are all obviously major arcana, so let's try to get some minors in here. Hello, honeys. I really like this Three of Swords. It's familiar, but it's different. I like the bells. And I really like that the little white book of this it describes the images, which is so amazing. So I get context of what I'm looking at from a Russian folklore or cultural perspective, which only deepens my understanding of this deck, which I really, really like. So beautiful. Okay, so my modern deck, excuse that she just went to the litter box, so of course she just has to bring litter with her wherever she goes. My modern deck is the Witch's Tarot, and in some ways I think this will end up looking good with the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg, but in other ways this is a stark contrast, right? This isn't steeped in history, or at least distant history. This is pretty contemporary, and it's photography and not as family friendly. A definite different feel. Man, these videos have been chaotic lately, and that's just how it's gonna be. It's that Mars and Gemini. It's really hitting me hard. But yeah, very modern, very cool. Let's put them side by side, as one does, as Marlena does, and see how they look. What do we think? This one's sticky because of the rose petal finish. Do we likey, or is it just weird? I honestly can't tell. Yeah, I mean, I think I could do it. It's just very, very different. Like, I don't know what reading I would be doing, you know? Yeah. I do like how they're both bordered in gold, and they're both black based, but the subjects are very, very different. Okay, enough of these. Our second prompt is new moon versus full moon. So what I did was I looked for decks that were good for the energies of these. New moon being setting intentions. And for that I chose the Celestial Tarot. Love these backs. Always have to highlight the backs. So yeah, I think that this is a great, yes, it's not only astrological, but a great deck to set intention. There's a lot of hope, it feels like, in here. There is a lot of opportunity for manifestation, for connecting with oneself, for connecting with one's creativity. And I really liked the tone that like I would think this would set for things I wanted to accomplish or things I wanted to embody in the next month. Oh, I love this deck. Excuse the title cards. Okay, so my full moon deck, which is meant to be a time of closing things out, clearing things out, reflecting on the past month, really getting to the nitty-gritty, releasing. I chose the Lubanco or Lubanco because it's really confronting, but somehow warm and inviting at the same time. I feel like this is not going to beat around the bush as far as lessons that were learned or energy that needs to be released, doors that need to be closed, and rest that needs to be taken. Again, very contrasted to the last deck. Okay, let's see what they look like together. And these two right here are beautiful. I like this. Do I think these could go? Potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I think with the right spread, these could go together. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Like, is it on camera looking okay? So that was prompt number 2. Prompt 3 is cute versus creepy. So for cute, I chose the John Bauer Tarot, and you might be thinking, that's kind of creepy. And I don't know, I disagree. I don't think it's very creepy. Not in my book, I guess. You know, there are like trolls and sometimes monsters in here, but they're not, like, that's cute. Like, even, this isn't creepy to me. This is a cute guy. This is a cutie guy. Like, maybe he's a little bit grumpy, but I think that's where it ends. Like, the large or seemingly grotesque creatures in this deck are not super intimidating. There's even like a familial thing. Like, that looks like someone's grandma. She's cranky, but she's not gonna hurt you. They all seem pretty friendly. I don't know, maybe I'm overstepping here. What do you think about the John Bauer? Overall, yes, it's muted. It's like mellow, but it's cute. My creepy deck is the Trionfi della Luna Paradoxical Rose Illustrated Pips Edition. Longest title for a deck ever. And this one, I mean, you could probably argue that this one is cute too. It's definitely a little bit creepy. These guys don't always look like they mean to be nice to you, you know? They all look a little bit grumpy, and then they also look like they could do something about it. Most of them are wielding some sort of weapon or a way that they could hurt you. A beautiful, beautiful deck. A beautiful, creepy deck. Okay, I'm excited to see these two side by side. I don't know why. I don't think they probably won't go together, but What do we think? It's not that bad. Honestly. Title card. I really need to like, I used to put them somewhere immediately, and lately I haven't been doing that. Honestly, they're not that bad. It's always exciting to do this, and I don't know if I did it in my first video. Maybe I did. But the fact that Marlena does this and looks at them side by side is just so genius, because this is the way that you discover new pairings, you know? Okay, that one might be a little creepy. You may have gotten me there. Okay. The next prompt is on my table versus in my bag. And right now on my table, I have the Regal Shadows by Dark Senever, and it's because I want to get to know this one a little bit better. I didn't pull a deck that like I usually keep on my table, because I don't. I kind of don't do that. I kind of keep all of my decks away unless there's one I'm working on or a few that I want to focus on. But even then, that's not always the case. So I do happen to have this one out. It's very beautiful. This is an Etsy deck. It's very pippish. And it's a vibe. It's something that I want to... I don't really know what kind of readings I get from this yet, and I've had it a while, so just something that I want to play around with. So that's on my table. And in my bag is a recent acquisition. It's a small boy, and that's partially why he's in my bag, but the other reason is that it's just such a great deck. I just wanted to, I thought it was so universal and that I could read it for a lot of people. It's not super intimidating, but I do get a lot of intuition coming from it. So this is my new in my bag deck. So exciting. This is, oh, did I say what it's called? It's called To the Moon and Back Tarot. Okay, so I don't think these two will pair, but let's check it out. I mean, it's not offensive. I guess the biggest thing is the size difference, but the proportions aren't even that bad, you know? I don't hate it. Like, it's readable. Okay, that's enough. I could just look at that all day, be like mesmerized. 2 more prompts. The next one is realistic versus fanciful. And so for my realistic, I chose my Aquamarine Collage Tarot deck. You guys know how I feel about this deck and why it's so realistic for me, but I'll just sum it up with, this feels like my past, it feels like my childhood, it feels like the world I grew up in. And so that's why it is a very realistic deck to me. And it's just gorgeous. And I love her so much. She's my best friend. Oh, this Hermit card. all the cards. Okay, so that's my realistic. My fantasy deck is also a new acquisition. This was a gift from a viewer, and I'm so happy to have it. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I hope you're watching. I couldn't be like more tickled by this. This is so fun. The only thing is it's really hard to get out of the tuck box. This is the tuck box version, and like she's not an easy one. Okay. Okay. And it's just fanciful. It's just flights of fancy. Are we upside down? Oh, this is my favorite card. I know that there have been card changes with this deck, and so I wasn't sure which edition I was getting, and so I watched a couple flip throughs of comparisons, and I saw that I shuffled this and I didn't mean to get it all mixed up, but I did. I saw that the one that I have is the updated version, which is really exciting because I liked like 99% of all the new cards. Like the Empress card is my favorite card. This is a favorite card of mine in this deck, and neither of those existed in the original. I also really like the updates that they did on the lettering. I think it stands out more. The walkthrough that I was watching, they didn't really like the lettering changes. But I don't know, I'm a fan. I love this one too. I think this is a new card too. Just very cool. We're into it. Okay, let's see what they look like. It's kind of cool. Oh, I just noticed this person's face in the background. Oh, so cool. Yeah, these could go together, I think. I'd probably use a couple Oracle decks to kind of bridge the gap between the two styles. I don't know if you ever do that, but I'd probably find something. This goes this way, obviously. I'd probably find something that kind of speaks to both of these, so it looks more cohesive in a reading. But I like this. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, we had a technical difficulty, but I'm back. Ugh. Sometimes I really don't like my tripod. If anyone has any recommendations on a tripod, please let me know. I really want to get the canvas. Does the canvas stalk everybody else on Instagram? Okay, and then our last extreme prompt is quiet deck versus loud deck. So for my quiet deck, I chose the Mountain Dream Tarot. I'm grabbing it. You're like, where is it? This is the Mountain Dream Tarot, and it's quiet. It's not a loud deck. It looks like a silent film. It's still. I love this deck. It grabbed me as soon as I first saw it on TarotTube. It took a while for me to get it, but I knew as soon as I saw it that I needed it. And it is such a calming, wonderful, nostalgic energy. So that's my quiet. And then my loud deck is a cult following tarot deck. This is the holographic version. It looks like this. And she's loud. She's loud and we wouldn't want her any other way. Okay, so let's look at these. I think they might work together because they're both vintagey feeling. It's like two different sides of the same time in culture. Like it feels like sometimes, you know? I don't know. What do you think? I think it could be cool. I think it could be cool. Like maybe not just one-on-one, but if you did like one in the middle, you know, or if you did, let's go to the next one, like that, maybe the first way. But yeah, I think these could go together just because they are so contrasted. And then sometimes you get the same, you know, hues in there. It definitely, I'll tell you this, it definitely makes you think about things more. Like, look at this next to that. This image next to this message. And you definitely, like that brings up some stuff, right? Some historical stuff, some cultural stuff, and what that all means. It kind of turns things on its head, and I kind of like it. Cool, 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 fun, fun, fun. Love that. Okay, so that was my Tarot to the Extremes part 2. That was just short, tiny, just a good time. Marlena, thanks so much for continuing this tag, and thanks for everyone who inspired me to do it, because I'm always watching everybody's videos. Being able to see my collection in a different way than I see it day to day, as well as playing with it in ways that I don't usually do, it's just such a fun time. I have to say that this holiday has been weird for me. I feel like the holidays are weird for a lot of people, and there's a lot of expectation that comes with it. Sometimes there's a lot of heartbreak that comes with it, and it's not necessarily something that has to happen in your life to make you feel that way. It might just be a yearly thing where you might feel a little bit lonely, or a little bit heartbroken, or a little bit empty, or ready for the next thing in your life. You know, we're thinking about the end of the year, and we're thinking about where we want to go and who we want to be. And I have to say that this community is always really helping my mental health. They're always making me feel occupied and creative and really great about a lot of things. So I wanted to say, like always, but especially right now, thanks for being here. Thanks for being curious. Thanks for being my friend. And my mom's coming, I gotta go.